persons on parade. So I stopped and just you stop along and talk to a couple of people. And I said to one young man, where are you from? He says, well, St. Catherine. So what do you want to do in the JCF? So he said, well, he wants to go to the CIB, he wants to be an investigator. So I said, why? He said, well, I have a degree in law. So then we went down a little further. And another one, so what have you done? Well, I have 14 CSECs and a degree in forensic chemistry. Now, when you're getting this raw material to build on, that is your start point and your base point for the future of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I have no doubt that we will go from strength to strength to strength as an organization. We will be a premier police force, not just in Jamaica or the region, but I suspect globally. Because once you're starting with that kind of raw material, the up is the only way to go. We have created a framework where those people, those young people coming in, actually can be taken from what they know step by step through a process to become great police officers. Accredited training after accredited training, interspersed with on-the-job work, the hard work that is required of all police officers to deal with all of the challenges in the society. And quite often things that are not even really the business of police officers, but because we are there and because we can, we do. And so that is part of the things that why my 6-year journey here was a short journey. It felt over in a flash. And part of that is that I got to share the journey with such a fantastic crew of people, these officers here, the rank and file members of the JCF, who had all of this potential that just needed to be unlocked, all of this talent that just needed to be directed in a particular direction. And just to have the change that would cause them to believe in themselves and then to believe in this brand called the Jamaica Constabulary Force, that we could move from where people had not much good to say, and that it was a very challenged brand, to a point where we're winning brand awards. And that's not PR, that's hard work. It's diligent, hard work over time. And this is the team over here, led by the deputy commissioners, that got that done. Now, I have this little tendency to go off script now and again, but I'll try to make sure I cover the points. The transformation we've been doing has been one of people quality technology. And we have been saying this, it's been out there, we've been putting it out there. And I believe when we did our expo last year, it put that on show, that side of the JCF that our public don't really get the chance to see, and to interact with our officers outside of when they are doing law enforcement, but just when they are on show, showing what they do. And I believe that was a capstone of showing not just the potential of the JCF, but actual JCF. Nothing that we showed.
You too. I pulled conversion and retention targets out of the hat. You magicians, Should we tell them we're using Zapier or go with the magician thing?
My team built automation that notifies account owners when leads are hot. That's magical.
Well, Ops uses AI and automation to give support reps everything they need in one view.
Sales does the same in our CRM. No way yours is better.
Names of our deputy commissioners to the Police Service Commission. They had work to do. We had 4 people who credibly can run the JCF. And so then they have to go through a process to decide which one of the 4 it's going to be. So they had options. And that is a good place to be when you're seeking to change command. And long may it be so. So I saw one of my jobs on coming here to make sure that my successor comes from within the JCF. JCF went on a transformation journey, not externally imposed, but a transformation journey using the people inside the organization and harnessing that talent and allowing people to believe that they could be their best selves. And being their best selves will propel the organization to new heights and to do things that they thought wasn't possible. So we have to and have had to make sure that people start to believe in themselves, believe in the organization, and believe in the possibility that they can take this force and influence this country and become that force for good, that engine behind the movement of change. But they had to believe. And I believe that they believe. Because it shows. It shows in the actions, it shows in the activities, it shows in the innovation, and it shows in the way our officers conduct themselves. Are we a perfect organization? Absolutely not. Do we have a long way to go? Absolutely. Have we achieved a lot? Yes. Is there a lot left to be achieved? Absolutely. And it is not me to continue to achieve it. It is to pass the baton to persons who are going to run a leg, and they too will pass the baton. What I've started, I can't finish. What Dr. Blake is going to do, he won't finish either. And he'll continue that process. And at the end of it, we aren't the ones who will be saying we're a force for good. There'll be nothing else that will come to mind once you say JCF. And not just in Jamaica. Already people reach out to us to try to understand what we've been doing. How is it that we came through COVID in a way where I believe we lost maybe 4 or 5 officers to COVID in a force of, at the time, 12,000. Our partners, our policing partners across the world were extremely challenged because us, like them, have to go and face the COVID head on. We cannot hide from it. We have to be there with it. But it was an interesting thing that when the protocols came out that could protect people, it was already instituted here. We did not wait because it was clear what was required. And one of the things that was required was that those members who were vulnerable could be allowed to work from home. Novel concept at the time. Now it's par for the course. And of course, we're a big organization, very rooted in tradition. And there were those people who believed that if we do that, We're going to open the door and all people won't come to work. Everybody will want to work from home. What I said was that on a day of crisis, a day when our country needs us, our people will turn up. And they did. When you have faith in people, they will turn up. And they will respond accordingly. And I believe that that is part of the process that got us through it in the way we did, and that we took care of each other over that period. And so we went through it smoothly, almost as if we had practiced it before. We hadn't. We were making it up like everybody else as we went along. But when you give people the latitude to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, when you're not looking for a zero defect organization where you kill innovation and don't grow leaders willing to be bold, then you have challenges. Then your organization is going to start to diminish. When you allow people to make mistakes and we can learn from them and correct them and move in the right direction, you can only grow your organization. You can only go from strength to strength. Because on the day when you're facing the thing that you couldn't predict, that there's no playbook for it, because it happens once every 100 years, the only thing you can rely on is that people are bold, that people will be innovative, and people will do what is necessary at that time. So we could go on, and I'm not going to, and my members here are very conscious of the fact. You see where I'm holding my hands? There's a thing. They say if I put my hand in my pocket, I'm gonna go on long. But so I won't. But I just want to again thank everyone here. And not just the people here, but the people online. Those people who are willing to help us, those people who are willing to give us the benefit of the doubt, and the space to grow the organization to become what we are now, that force for good. Many people here have assisted us. I'm grateful to you. And sometimes that assistance comes in ways that you don't even realize yourself when you're doing it. We have had an engagement with our public that is really good. It has changed the face of how we do business. There's a reason why, apart from all the technology and all the systems we put in place, we're an ISO 9001 certified police force. We're going to go to 21 sites by May. And we'll continue that process. It's not really about that. It's not really about that. It's about the people. It's always about the people. And how we extract, encourage, elevate rather than diminish them to do the great things that they can do. So thank you all for your support. And thank you, Justine and Catherine. Because sometimes it's the people close to you who feel it the most. Because as the force tries to wring everything out of you, the little you get the what left. So as I transition from here, there may be a little more time and space, but usually, as you know, is what next mountain to climb. It has been a great time. And team, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for your service and for your support. So now I'm going to just do, I'm going to invite Dr. Kevin Blake, my successor, to come up. Okay. Right, thank you. Good, thank you. So there's really no precedence for what I'm going to do now. So maybe we're establishing a precedent. We'll see how it goes. And really it is in a very, yeah, thank you. I think it's important that since we're going to have this very seamless transition from one to the other, that I have a few things for DCP, soon to be CP, Dr. Kevin Blake. So here you have your rank and insignia that gives you the authority over the men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Exercise that authority with wisdom, with tenacity, but also with compassion. There's also the cane, which is also a symbol of the authority. Actually says Commissioner of Police on it. So I know that, you know, I know you wanted one, Owen, but but now, as I say, we're setting precedents now. So this is also a symbol of that authority. Wisdom, tenacity, and compassion. So, so now I know this must feel like Christmas to you. So here is the pen. This is a fountain pen that I am passing to you. Just remember that there's a unique ink that the Commissioner of Police uses. But the point is that you can see when the Commissioner has signed anything and that the Commissioner's signature can change lives. So be considered in what you do and what you sign. And finally, you hang this up in front because this is what we stand on. The rule of law, respect for all, and force for good. You hang this in your office, look at it every day, and I guarantee you, you'll be guided at the times when something comes up, as it inevitably does, that you were never trained for. Let it be your guide.
Thank you, sir. Today is indeed a good day to be a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I really can get used to this. Yeah, it's an early Christmas. Thank you, Commissioner. Deputy Prime Minister, and our esteemed Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang, Senator Peter Bunting, Opposition Spokesman on National Security, distinguished guests drawn from across the Jamaican private and public sectors and the broad reach of civil society, members of the diplomatic corps and the international development community, Major General Anthony Anderson, my former boss, who just completed his last workday. Has not escaped yet. All right, his last workday at the office as Commissioner of Police, and as he said, will remain so until midnight tonight. So I have a few hours to enjoy. My colleagues of the High Command and the Police Area Command leadership, covering population center and every community across the length and breadth of Jamaica. To every serving member of our 14,000 plus force, comprising law enforcers sworn to serve, supported by dedicated teams of civilian staff, many of whom are tuned into this ceremony via the internet, like the many citizens, residents, and friends of Jamaica at home and across the world. Other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I speak to you today out of a profound sense of duty as a career policeman and as a Jamaican with a deep and abiding love for my country and for the people of my country. I rise to be the Commissioner of Police, the Chief Constable for all Jamaicans, mindful of the weight of this office and what it requires of me. And my boss always remind me of the weight that this office comes with. But ladies and gentlemen, I am prepared and I'm ready to bring the best of my intellect, my training, my personal discipline, and emotional intelligence to lead this Jamaica Constabulary Force to be the next best edition of itself. I offer my heartfelt appreciation to you, Major General Anthony Anderson, our outgoing commissioner, for his highly capable leadership of the JCF over the past 6 years. As a global thought leader and a professional in local and international security matters, General Anderson has made an indelible mark on the JCF, catalyzing us into an era of unprecedented and irreversible modernization and transformation. Sir, your legacy is evident for all of us to see, and we laud your immense measure of your contribution. I will miss our intellectual banters, your personal swagger, and your impeccable sartorial dress, which always made you undeniable the center of the room. Deputy Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica deserves a police force that is responsive, a force that is modernized, and on par with the best law enforcement agencies in the world. Jamaica wants justice. And for many Jamaicans, justice often starts in an interaction on any given day with the police. That interaction, whether forceful or otherwise, must be predictably professional and respect for the law and for the individual. We know this as the JCF. For over 150 years, we have been the most tactile workforce in Jamaica. And in more recent years, we have made significant strides in improving how we interact and engage with the people whom we are here to serve and protect. Under my watch, unprecedented programs will be launched to win the hearts and minds of communities across Jamaica, to restore the JCF as the rightful legal guardians of Jamaica, providing trusted and reliable security services. We know that there are far more lawful and law-abiding people in Jamaica than the lawless and criminal among us. Make no mistake, we will isolate these criminals. We will disrupt criminal gangs. We will pursue, capture, and build airtight cases for the conviction of the producers, the facilitators, and the sympathizers of crimes whose only interest and desire is to cause hurt, mayhem, and destruction. These people do not deserve the shelter and protection of law-abiding citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, we only have one Jamaica, our beautiful island that rivals every country on earth as a leading tourism destination with the warmest and most hospitable people on the planet. The Jamaican people deserve to live peacefully and to enjoy a safe, secure society, free of fear, free of crime and violence, and we must protect our nation home against all threats, external and internal. And in so doing, the Jamaica Constabulary Force will not fail in its duty to serve and protect the lawful majority. And so, to the men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force who face daily challenge of maintaining law and order in this country, I say to you, your hard work and sacrifices have not gone unnoticed. Notwithstanding the harsh and sometimes unfair criticism we face from some quarters, we are loved by the vast majority of the Jamaican people. We have never been as resourced as we are now as Jamaica's leading law enforcement organization, and my expectation, Minister, that we will continue to receive the resources required to do the most difficult job in Jamaica. As your commissioner, my colleagues, as your commissioner, rest assured, I have your back. As you labor around the clock on the front lines and in the back office support and administration, you can count on me to do everything in my power to ensure that you have the resources and training to execute the mission. And believe me when I say that, I have been well taught. My friends, the JCF is at a point of inflection. We are forging forward in a slipstream of transformation that we are confident will expand beyond us to attract every law-abiding Jamaican to join our transformation journey. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a modern and modernizing police force. Our tradecraft is exceptional. Our policing methods and technologies are contemporary, innovative, making us the most advanced and admired police force in the region. As we embrace innovation, as we adapt and develop, we are becoming a global standard. This complex social phenomenon of crime, security, and public safety is a tough business. In Jamaica and our global diaspora, our critics, many of whom are well-intentioned, think our job is a simple one and that the JCF is asleep at the wheel. Nothing, ladies and gentlemen, is further from the truth. The data does not support the many misconceptions people hold as truth about the JCF, and that they invest so much time to repeat, rinse, and repeat. If we say we want to slay this crime monster that threatens to ruin the fabric of our society, then we must be prepared to move past the negativism and the useless rhetoric of self-defeat. We must be prepared to have a shared understanding and an accurate definition of the nature and scope of the problem we all want to solve. Make no mistake, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is the agency of the state with the primary responsibility for the reduction of crime and violence in Jamaica. The buck stops with us. Yet, we welcome sincere partnerships, and we respect that we all have a role to play, government, non-government, and individuals alike. We respect the values of transparency, truth, and accountability to the public as essential in the fight to defeat crime and make Jamaica safer. I say to the Jamaican press, we need your partnership to help us live up to these values in an environment where citizens can access information from multiple sources which do not meet the basics in journalistic practice and ethics. It is in the interest of the public that the mainstream media be a credible and reliable source of content that is not only timely, accurate, and verifiable, but which is also subject to careful and more thoughtful analysis that will equip Jamaicans to make better decisions about their personal safety and that of their families and communities. I'm looking forward to having conversations with the press to give deeper insights into the transformation to better inform your journalism and public advocacy. Crime is ever evolving, ladies and gentlemen, and our partnerships and collaborative efforts must be equal to the task. And so, we will continue to enhance our intelligence capabilities, leveraging data-driven insights, and employing cutting-edge tools to stay ahead of criminal activities. Community engagement will remain paramount to the planning and decision-making. In all our police divisions, a key priority is to maintain open lines of communication and cooperation with the people, to create safer neighborhoods, to build trust, and encouraging our communities to proudly play their part in the shared responsibility of public safety. Ladies and gentlemen, transparency and accountability are the cornerstones of our approach. We will work tirelessly to maintain the highest standards of professionalism, ensuring that our actions are just, fair, and in the best interest of the communities we serve. Our attainment of ISO 9001 certification is a critical achievement. No other police force in the region has yet attained this important quality management benchmark. It is important to note that we are focused on the continuous expansion of the scope of our ISO quality management process to include not only more police locations, but also more police services to increase the professional quality experiences more Jamaicans will feel when they interact with their police force. As I close, let me say this to you and to those listening to me beyond the confines of this room. I bring to this job integrity of heart and skillful hands. I'm a servant of laws and Constitution of Jamaica. I will not shrink back in doing what is right for the people of Jamaica. And I have the utmost confidence in the men and women of the JCF who share my heart and determination. In these exciting and momentous times for the JCF, I know my men and women will acquit themselves well. I'm also looking forward to continue receiving the brightest and the best to join our numbers. The JCF is a great place to serve and to build a career. I'm here to partner with every stakeholder, chief of which are citizens of Jamaica, in the interest of the national security of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, I am present and I'm on time. I'm here to serve and I'm here to lead. Thank you, and may God bless our beloved country.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. At this time, I am going to invite our force chaplain, the Reverend Dr. Gary